Hey gamers, what's up everyone? We are back with another video. So today we have a next part of the franchise deal, which I've already covered the first part on the video. So you haven't watched, go watch it. And today is the second part and one of the mystery games on the Epic Store. So without wasting any time, let's get to the video. So the first pre-mystery game is coming out from this Epic Store is the Legend of Legend is a no-nonsense action pack that take the wizardry, emphasizes the precise movement and smart combining of the spells in a roguelike dungeon crawler that features one over 100 unique spells and relics. It's an action-adventure dungeon crawler RPG, which this is the free game. So the next segment is coming up from the series and the bundles from this Steam in the winter sale. So the first one is the Ninja Gaiden Master Collections. So this is a 40% off 1680. So you will not get any individual games by the price, but you will get all three, and for most there is a controller requirement, so you cannot play this game on PC. So three games they have included into this. We have the Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 and Ninja Gaiden Razor Edge 3. So three Ninja Gaiden games which I love to play these combats and all the hack and slash games and almost like a violent games. So I'll say I love these games to playing as a childhood, but we haven't got the follow-up sequels from the Ninja Gaiden series. So I think this is a pretty good deal. This is 40% off 1680, almost great deal right now, 16 to 17 or even $18. So that's a great deal. You will get up to three games. So the first notable thing is controller required, so you cannot play on the keyboard and mouse. So moving to the next series is coming up from the Resident Evil series. So Resident Evil 4 is 50% off, $1,309, almost like a $14-15. Resident Evil Village is 60% off, $960, almost like a $10 to $11. Resident Evil 3 75% off, $585, almost like a $6 to $7. Resident Evil 2 is 500 rupees, almost like a $6 to $7. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is 60% off, $480, almost like a $5 to $6. And if you want to buy the original ones, Resident Evil, so here are these lists. Resident Evil 5 is 75% off, $327, almost like a $3 to $4. Resident Evil 4, the original version from the 2005, is 300 rupees, 75% off, and also has the HD editions, so which can support up to the 4K display. So $3 to $4. So these all in the series, I can say that this is the first shoulder top games. After the remakes, they have made a shoulder top games. So it's a pretty cool remix, and Village and Biohazard have a unique storylines and all. So I think this is a pretty good series to buy on, try on in this winter sale. So everything comes under the budget. This is a pretty fun games as well, and horror genres and the shooting aspects and survivability. So this is the great games, just worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming out from this Battlefield series. Battlefield doesn't come under the bundle because of the EA. So Battlefield 2042, 92% off, $239, almost like a $2 to $3. Battlefield 5 is 93% off, $181, almost like a $2 few cents. Battlefield Hardline, which I will say is totally unique from the typical Battlefield games. So it's a 90% off, $249, almost like a $2 to $3. Battlefield 3 is the same, 90% off, $249, almost like a $2 to $3. Battlefield 4 is 93% off, almost like a $2, which is 774 rupees, and Battlefield 1 is 93% off, almost like a $2 few cents. So these are the Battlefield games, and Hardline is the unique one by the typically, and Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 is totally based on the World War 1 and World War 2. So Battlefield 2042 is almost like a multiplayer games in the military FPS shooters, which was being known by the Battlefield games. So highly destructible environments, but Battlefield was quite a bit of disappointment, but it's still improving. The constant releases of the patches are fixing it up, and let's see it will become a gem or something else. So this is the great deal right now on this winter sale. Every Battlefield games is amazingly on the deal, so just want to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming out from the Shadow Warrior Trilogy bundle. So Shadow Warrior Trilogy bundles is 80% off, $925, almost like a $10 to $11, where you get the Shadow Warrior 1, Shadow Warrior 2, Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition, and Shadow Warrior Classic Redux, which was totally that time when Wolfenstein and the Doom was famous on the PC. So it was from the 2018, so 30, sorry. So this is currently 80% off, $925, almost like a $10 to $11 if you wanted to play as an ultra-violent, blend fast-paced gunplay, razor-sharp melee combat, and spectacular free-running movements through the mythical Japanese realm. Test your skill survival mode. Also, there's a new game plus mode and hardcore mode. So these are the totally concept based on this Shadow Warrior series, which is highly I will suggest you to buy because that's currently a great deal right now. 80% off, $925, almost like a $10 to $11. So I highly suggest you to check it out. Moving to the next game is the classic game series is coming up from the Painkiller complete pack, which is 90% off, $392, almost like a $4 to $5, which comes like a Painkiller Hell and Damnations, Painkiller Overdose, Painkiller Redemption, Painkiller Black Editions, Painkiller Recurring Evil, and Painkiller Resurrections, and all the DLCs have already added to it. So it's 90% off if you are a fan of an originally Painkiller's action FPS gore co-op horror shooter. So it's worth to check it out because there are some demos available for the Painkiller. So if you are confused about to buy, just check out the demos for this. So I think for this price segment, 90% off, $392, almost like a $3 to $4. So I think that's a great deal right now. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming out from the Prince of Persia series, which is our favorite one from the childhood, which was Prince of Persia Sands of Time, is 99 rupees, which was almost like a $1 a few cents. And the Prince of Persia reboot from the 2008, Prince of Persia Forgotten Sand, Prince of Persia Warrior Within, which is the best dark stories you can ever Prince of Persia has, and the Prince of Persia Two Thrones. So these all the games are 80% off, 99 rupees, almost like a $1 a few cents. Apart from that, the Rogue Prince of Persia, the Prince of Persia Lost Crown is more expensive, way more than $10. So I will suggest you to just check it if you wanted to buy, but I will highly suggest you to wait for the more days to come up so that these prices go down. So I think these 4 to 5 games are pretty gem. So if you want to experience, then you can check out these ones. Just only costed $1 a few cents, which is almost like a $5 for the all games, and 500 rupees for every Prince of Persia 1 to Forgotten Sands. So this is a great deal right now. So you can check it out with the parkour and acrobatics and the highly combat systems, and also the dual blading combats, wall running, jumping, and doing the wall jump is a great relaxing to play. So this is quite a fun game, so want to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Valve complete pack. So every games from the Valve has released already added in this game, so which is 81% off of 1,000 rupees, almost like a $10 to $12. So Counter-Strike 2 will be free, but Counter-Strike Source, Counter-Strike Condition 0, Day of Defeat Source, Dota 2 is free already. So you will get the Half-Life Deathmatch Classic, Half-Life 1 Source, Half-Life Opposing Force, Half-Life Blue Shift, and Half-Life 2. And also you will get these Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. These both games are pretty amazing. And Portal 1 and Portal 2. These 2 Portal puzzling games are also free with that. And Team Fortress Classic is 62 rupees, less than even $1, and Team Fortress 2 will be free. So these all are games coming up in this pack. I think the best ones to buy will be the Half-Life series and the Left 4 Dead. And if you want some Portal puzzling games, so you can buy on that. So these are the games from the Valve, which is pretty classic and pretty awesome games. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to our next game is coming up from this Far Cry series. So Far Cry 5 is 75% off, $749. Far Cry 5 is 85% off, $449, almost like a $5 to $6. Far Cry Primal, which is kind of unique segment in these Far Cry series, is so 75% off, $624, almost like $7 to $8. Far Cry 4 is 80% off, $299, almost like a $3 to $4. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is $187, almost like a $2 a few cents. Far Cry 3 is 75% off, $249, almost like a $2 to $3. Far Cry 2 70% off, $149, almost less than $2. Far Cry, the first one, is the $149, almost less than $2. So Far Cry 1, 2, and 3 is the best. I can suggest the best Far Cry series ever could have, and the Far Cry Primal is quite a unique from the other Far Cry perspectives. So it has unique stories and unique timeline and unique gameplays as well from the other Far Cry games. Far Cry 6 has been, I say, has a lot of improved from the Far Cry 5. So that's all upon you. You can check it out. So moving to the next game is coming up from the Watch Dogs series. So Watch Dogs bundle have a 85% off, $1,122, almost like a $12 to $13. If you're gonna buy it individually, Watch Dogs 1 is $349, Watch Dogs 2 is $449. So Watch Dogs 1 will cost around $4 to $5. Watch Dogs 2 will be $5 to $6, and Watch Dogs Legion 85% off, $449, almost like a $5 to $6. So if you want to buy individually, you can get through it. Go some for the hacking. Hack all around the areas, hack the weapons, hack all these devices around you, get some money from it, steal the informations, take down all the CTOS towers and all the breaches around you. So that's a great game for the hackings if you like it. So it's a pretty stealthy hacking game. So this is a great deal right now, 85% off, $1,122, almost like a $12 to $13. Moving to our next segment is coming up from the Red Faction Complete Collections. So the Complete Collections comes up with the Red Factions Guerrilla Remastered version, Red Factions Armageddon editions, Red Faction 2 and Red Faction 1 and all the DLCs. So it's 80% off, $692, almost like a $8 to $9. So if you want to buy individually, just buy the Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered one, which is 80% off, $224, or Armageddon, which is also the same prices, and Red Faction 1 and 2, which is $112, almost like $1 a few cents. So both are the same price, and I can suggest that you buy the bundle. If you get the more content on this. If you buy this one a bundle, which has a pretty amazing cool mechanics back there when this was released on 2013 to 14, which you can destroy anything around you, take down any buildings and all that stuff, so complete the missions. So these are the kind of a Just Cause game, which I can say that Just Cause also inspired from this one as well. So I think it's a great game from the classic ones. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming out from the Devil May Cry series. So Devil May Cry 5 is 67% off, $577, which also includes the Virgil gameplay. Devil May Cry HD collections, which have the Devil May Cry 1, 2 and 3 with the HD versions that can up to support the 4K display. 67% off, $907, almost like a $10 to $11. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, 70% off, $449, almost like a $4 to $5. And the Devil May Cry, which is the reboot one, which is 75% off, $449, almost like a $5 to $6. So these are the Devil May Cry games which has the hack and slash, all these stylish gameplays and all the amazing soundtrack been known for the Devil May Cry. So I think Devil May Cry 5 has a better soundtrack, and Devil May Cry 4 has an amazing soundtrack, and also the HD collections from 1 to 3 Devil May Cry. So I think this is a pretty stylish games and pretty cool to play, and so much fun to have different kinds of weapon and different sets of moves in the every Devil May Cry game. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Plague Tale bundle. So Plague Tale bundle will have the Plague Tale Innocence and Plague Tale Requiem with 60% off, $1,154, so almost like a $12 to $13. And which Plague Tale Innocence will 80% off, $379, almost like a $4 to $5. Plague Tale Requiem, which is 60% off, $919, almost like a $10 to $11. So these are the cool games about the post-apocalyptic era sets on the medieval period. So you can explore the stories within the brother and sisters. You play as Amnesia, and you take abilities of the Hugo as well as your brother. So embark on the journey to explore your powers and survive from these enemies and the rivalry kingdoms. So that's a great deal, 65% off, $1,154, almost like a $12 to $13. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Monster Hunter series. So the Monster Hunter World is 67% off, $824, almost like a $10 to $11, while Monster Hunter Iceborne is $750, almost like 75% off, almost like $9. So if you're gonna buy these Iceborne Master Editions, $1,140, which is almost like a $12 to $13. This will reduce some of the cost of your budget, but I think this is the great deal right now. So if you want to buy the other games as well from the Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Stories, and Monster Hunter Sunbreak. So these are the games which currently on a deal on the winter sale. So that's a great to grab on. While Monster Hunter Wild is coming up on the February. So before playing to that, you have the great deals right now to experience the story behind and the concept behind all the Monster Hunter franchise. So that's a great deal. Just want to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Dead Rising series. So Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered from the first part is coming up 20% off, 399, almost like a $25 to $26. Dead Rising 4 is 80% off, $399, almost like a $3 to $4. While Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition is 80% off, $199, almost like a $2 few cents. Dead Rising 2 Off the Record is 75% off, $374, almost like a $3 to $4. Dead Rising 2 is 75% off, $299, almost like a $2 to $3. So these are the Dead Rising series based on the post-apocalyptic era with the zombie apocalypse. So you have a lot of sequences to play on, a lot of weapons, a lot of styles, a lot of skins from the every Easter eggs and every game's collaborations. You can have the Street Fighter collab, you can have the Mortal Kombat collab, you can have the Mega Man collab, you can have all these DC, Marvel, every collabs in this game. You can play as that character and just destroy every hordes or hordes of zombies in this game. So that will a lot of fun to bring on. So that's a great game. So it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from this Assassin's Creed series, which can have all the series, but I will tell you that what's the best to buy right now, which is the first, get the Ezio collections. So Ezio collections will have the Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2 and Revelation, which is 70% off, $224, almost like a $2 to $3. Brotherhood will cost around $187, it's $2 a few cents, and Assassin's Creed 2 will $124, it's almost like a $1 a few cents. And Assassin's Creed Director's Cut editions for the first one, which is Altair, 75% off, $124, almost like a $1 a few cents. So if you're going to buy the next one, I'll suggest you to buy the Assassin's Creed Unity, which is 85% off, $224, almost like a $2 to $3, which set on the France and the French revolutions. You play as an Ornodorian. So these are the great games to have an experience with the Ornodorians in the French Revolution. While moving to the next suggestions you can buy is the Assassin's Creed Origin, which is the new segments and new RPG systems has been included through this game. So you play in Egypt and it's a lot of colorful settings and involvement in the Egypt era. So at 90% off, $299, almost like $2 to $3. And the further you want to experience the Greek mythology and Greek architectures and all this stuff and all this gameplays and the monumental peoples around the Greek, so you play Odyssey, 80% off, $599, almost like $6 to $7. If you want to experience the American and England war that was gone through the 7 years of a war, then you can play as Assassin's Creed 3 remastered version, which is 75% off, $499, almost like a $5 to $6. If you want to play as a Viking, then you can experience with the Valhalla. So it has tons of hour of gameplay, which is 75% off, $749, almost like a $9. But I will suggest you to wait down for the another upcoming deals. Prices will go down even further. So Assassin's Creed Mirage is telling the return to the roots, but I think not. It return to the nothing. So I will not suggest to buy for the Mirage as well. So apart from that, you can buy these 2D versions of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Russia, India and China. So that's all along with that game. So moving to the next game is the Trine series. So the Trine is the 2.5D versions of a puzzling action adventure platformer game, which is quite a bit looks good. If you wanted to play as a co-op, you can play, or you can play as an AI companions as well. So these games totally takes a 75% off, $928, which includes all the games, the 1, 2, Trine 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these all games has been included into it, and that's a great deal, I can say. If you want to play some relaxed and fun, having the 2 to 3 companions and solve the puzzles, so this is a great games and great storyline to experience with that from the THQ Nordic. So that's a great deal. I will highly suggest you to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Final Fantasy series. So the Final Fantasy series comes to the Final Fantasy 16, 25% off, $2,624, almost like a $27 to $28. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is 50% off, $999, almost like a $10 to $11. Crisis Core from the Final Fantasy VII Reunion is 50% off, $1,399, almost like a $14 to $15. Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition is 60% off, $839, almost like a $10 to $11. And all these Final Fantasy games, which I'll put the screenshot in the game, just want to check it out. It will a lot of games in it. If you want to play the classics Final Fantasy, Yeah, there is a lot of games for the classic Final Fantasy games, so it's definitely I'll suggest you to go, and that's all on you to with what to buy and what to play. So it's all on these games. So that's it for my side. I'll bring back the new videos and updates on these games. So till then, keep gaming. I'll meet you in the next video. Nupkaso out here.
Yeah, boy.